Spring has sprung. It's time to uncover the RV, and we're going to show you some things you should look at on the roof of an RV before you buy a used one.
Welcome to Two Camping Gurus. If you like camping in the great outdoors, you are in the right place. Stick around to the end of this video so we can show you how you can get your free ebook and pre-trip checklist to make sure you and your rig are ready for the road. Now, let's get into today's content.
When you cover your RV, make sure this doesn't happen. That's a lot of weight on this roof that no doubt could have and may have caused damage to the structure. So you can see there's a lot going on up here as far as equipment bolted down or sealed up, venting and all that type of stuff. So we're going to take a look around, show you what you should look for before you buy an RV, or what you might have to do yours in the spring to prepare it for the new season and make sure there's no leaks. So hopefully in the spring, if you're just uncovered your RV, it doesn't look like this. So there's quite a bit of things we can talk about here, but this is kind of a worst case scenario. Obviously, when you first come up, you just want to do a quick visual inspection of the roof and just kind of look around, see if there's anything really popping out at you. And this one here, there's several things that I can see right away that's got to be repaired if we're going to be putting this thing back on the road. But for you guys, it's going to give you some good information on what to look for and what might have to be done, especially if you're going to be buying a used RV. So one thing, right off the bat, you can see there's some issues, but also when you're walking around, you want to feel for spongy areas. Now, this has an aluminum roof, so you can see it's kind of moving, which means it's separated from the roof below. It should be adhered down, so that's kind of an issue. Water could be getting underneath there and causing some problems. Walk around, do a physical inspection of how the roof feels. The whole thing is moving quite a bit. Again, this is an old RV. Now, a lot of the new ones have the membrane roof, so you won't experience this, but you still want to go around and feel for soft areas in the roof. This could indicate some early rotting of the wood. Could be, potential major repairs. After you've done that, then, some quick things to note right off the bat I can see is damage. So this vent here obviously would have to be replaced. Now, if you just looked around the outside of this thing or any RV, you would never know this unless you get up here and looked. Now, even if this hole wasn't here, I can see that this thing is weathered. It is old. It's kind of oxidized looking. It's going to be very brittle. So this is something I would replace anyways, even if it didn't have this hole, just because of the age of it and the fact that it's, it's brittle. You can see it's just, it's showing its age, that's all. Sealant around it in this particular vent doesn't look too bad, except for on this front edge here, there's definitely some issues. So that would be something to consider. And you can see somebody kind of rigged this up a little bit differently. They got a wire in here. You probably won't see that in a newer rig, even used, but you never know. People do funny things to get by, especially if they know they're going to sell something. Now the AC, another issue. It's obviously got some pretty significant damage here. Now this probably will not affect the operation of the air conditioning unit, but it definitely has damage. Somebody's actually put this piece in here just to get by, but it's not, it's definitely not correct. So really, this whole shroud cover should be replaced to properly protect the air conditioner. While you're looking at the air conditioner, it's a good idea to look at the fins and see if they're in good shape or not. And these ones generally are. I don't see a lot of dent up. There's a few little spots here, but very minor. If these fins are all bent up and banged and bent over, and those holes are not, clear, so air can flow through, it's going to work a lot harder and it's not going to cool as good. So definitely look at those vent fins while you're up on the roof as well. And then while we're right here, you can see the sealant around this is gone. There is nothing left of it. It's just all peeling up. So definitely water is getting down in there, most likely, and is going to cause further damage. So really this roof needs to be stripped right down as far as, the sealant, and then recoded. And that goes for the whole roof if you're going to try to save this, because even this stuff is all peeling up. So the aluminum is not even protected anymore at all. This section here, I'm not sure what it was. We'd have to look inside to determine what went here originally, but it's clearly now a patch. The patch in itself is not a big deal as far as, who knows why they did it. The problem is it's not, it's not secure anymore. It's all peeling up. You can see that is definitely not going to keep
water out. So that's another thing, you know, you just want to check all of these spots. The vent itself is definitely old, got some bad spots on it, but mainly, again, it's all about the sealant around it. It needs to be completely cleaned down to the metal, remove all of that sealant, that caulking, and that Dicor coating, and then reapplied properly. There's pine needles caught in it and everything else, which is just going to cause it to retain water and cause further damage or leaks inside your RV. So this is going to be your black water tank vent. The vent looks fine. The sealant around it doesn't look too bad, but where it's so close to that vent there, I would strip all that off and clean it and redo it as well. Then you have another vent over here. This could be the gray water tank. Not sure. Same thing. You know, you can see these sealant is down, but it's all cracking, and that's just going to allow water in around these screws. It only takes that tiny little bit like that, and you can have water coming into your RV. So I could continue on about all of these spots, like all of these points here. They should all be checked to see if they need to be dealt with. And now, another thing to look at is the actual RV sealant, the weather stripping channels here. Now you can see this here is completely gone. It's destroyed. It's all weather cracked, weather broken, and there's nothing left protecting these screws from the rainwater getting in there and causing it to leak down in your RV. So really, that all would need to be replaced. Now again, I know this is a worst case scenario because it's an older RV, but if any one of these are an issue with one that you're looking at, you're going to want to replace it and deal with it. You can see that's broken all the way everywhere. So that whole piece, and it goes right down the front, is completely destroyed. It would have to be pulled out and a new one put in, and that's not an easy job to get those slid in there. It can be a real pain in the butt. Another thing to look for is everywhere the roof where it joins together, you can see there's a joint here, and it was sealed at one time, but again, that sealant is now past its prime. It's all coming apart, and that's another potential spot that water is going to get in your RV. And you can see that's the case all along this particular seam here in the front. While you're up here, a good thing to check is your marker lights. This is another common area for leaks, and you can see someone had leaks because they added all kinds of caulking to the top of it to try to stop the water from getting in behind these lights. And this one here, you can see this little hole. You see that little slit right there? That's all it would take for water to get in behind there and cause some significant damage over time. So these things need to be addressed. But every one of these lights has an additional amount of caulking all over the top of them, trying to seal out the water. And just for an example of these, where these racks are bolted down, you can see this is all cracked around the side here. All would need to be resealed. And you can see someone's done it a few times, but it's definitely deteriorated again and needs to be completely redone. Like I said, this is kind of a worst case scenario, but the good thing is I was able to show you several areas that are damaged or gone bad or deteriorated that need to be fixed. Now hopefully, if you're looking to use RV, you don't have this much of an issue or problems. If you do, I would just say probably stay away from it, because it's just going to cost you so much more. And who knows what kind of damage is done inside the RV. If you're out shopping and you get up there and look and you see one or two things, at least now you have an idea of what to look for and what could possibly be causing leaks. So now you know, and you're not relying on the person that's selling it to you to say, oh no, the roof's in good shape. Get up there, look yourself, make sure there's no hidden problems that you're gonna have to deal with as soon as you get this rig home. Well, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. If you're interested in that pre-trip checklist and free ebook, click on the link right down in the description. Don't forget to swing over to our website, twocampinggurus.com. Also, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, comment. Happy camping, have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.